This is the one that grabs the data from the sheet and puts it into the form, right? We have our row is long. We're defining our variable here to go across all subs. We're creating a loop. The loop is here to add the categories into our category box. CBO.category is referring to the form, the category box. We're actually creating a loop to go through that loop and add all of those variables into that loop, into that category. We also have our select case statement here. Depending on the value of the row, what value is in that row on the sheet, then we're going to select the correct department. If it's not there, then we select general. And then when we save it, so far, here's our command button save. This is the name of our button right here, CMD save _ click. This is the action behind that button. When we click on save, it's going to grab whatever text is in the form and put it into the Excel sheet. It's going to grab the data from the form, put it into the Excel spreadsheet, and then it's going to close the form. And that's kind of where we're at. That's kind of where we left it. So let's see. At this point, where do we go? What we still need to do is on the form, we have our categories, and we need to put the categories back into Excel. So let's do that. Let's see. So I'm going to go to, this is going to be the command save click option. And let's add a portion here before the unload me, right? Because if we save it after the unload me, it's not going to be there. We're going to save the department to the spreadsheet before the unload me. Let me see if I can scroll up a little bit so you can see it better. We're going to take whatever values in the form for the department, put it back into the Excel spreadsheet. We're just going to overwrite whatever's there. And let's do some if statements. So if option hunting.value is equal to true, then do something. What are we going to do? We're going to say data.cells. Data is referring to what? It's referring to the name of the sheet here. That's our code name for the product sheet. Data.cells, and the cells notation is saying row, comma, column. We know what the row is, and which column is our department in? ABC, that's a third column. So we'll do row, comma, 3 dot value is equal to, and then we'll say hunting. We can just type that in. We'll hard code it in. We're just going to hard code that in. It says, okay, if the form selection is on hunting, then put hunting back into the spreadsheet. That's what we're saying there. The other interesting thing here is that we actually don't need this equals true, right? It's basically saying, because this is a Boolean value, opt_hunting.value is Boolean. The way we set up this form, if I go back to the form, this is actually a Boolean value. This is a true or false. Just the nature of these option buttons is it's either on or off. And so we can say, we can take out this equals true and just leave that as a Boolean. So if hunting is selected, then put hunting into the spreadsheet. Else, let's do an else if. Else if outdoor.value, if that's selected, then we're going to say data.cells row, comma, 3.value is equal to outdoor. We could do another one. Else if OPT apparel dot value. If apparel is selected, then we'll say data.cells row, comma, 3.value is equal to apparel. And then finally, just a final else. If it's none of those things, then we'll do row, comma, 3.value is equal to General is the last category. And then let's test this. So now what I've, so just a short recap. What I've done is I've gone back to this command saved underscore click sub. This is where we take data from the form and we're putting it into the spreadsheet. And in this case, I've actually built an if statement to say, depending on which one's true, then put whichever's true back into the worksheet. So let's pick, where's that one we've been working on? Full body duck. Right now, this is in the hunting department. So if I run the form on this row, come here, click on play or F5. Here's my full body duck. This is for this row 26. And I'll come over here, click on outdoor. So I've changed the department. You can change it to whichever. Just to give you an example, click on save, and it's changed to outdoor. So now we've gone from hunting to outdoor. It just changed it right there, just overrode it. Boom, just like that. We could change it back, right? If I were to run this again, it comes in as outdoor. That's a good check. It selects the correct one on the form. I could change it again. I could change it back to hunting, change it to general, and it should change it in the form. Okay, neighbor check. Neighbor, I got it. Neighbor, I'm completely lost. Neighbor, I need a new neighbor. You're fired. You can fire your neighbor, by the way. Ooh. Whoever has a higher midterm score has to move. No, has to stay. Question? Sure. Here's the code for the save option. That's basically all we've done so far is just save the department, right? If statements, if this is true, if hunting is selected, put it back in the spreadsheet. If outdoor is selected, if apparel is selected, else it's got to be general. Question? Good question. Great question. So in the show data, I have this select case formula. This is pulling from the Excel spreadsheet and putting it into the form, right? If you put this section, so let me make sure I understand your question. You're saying, hey, why don't we just put this in the other sub? You could put it up there, but it wouldn't save, right? I mean, we could try it right now. This runs specifically when the command button is clicked on. So if you take it outside of this, if you remove it from this sub,
it would be kind of still valid code.
and it would still save it. It would overwrite whatever's there, but you wouldn't be able to change it, right? Because it would happen so fast. And if we put it down here in this one, you're basically saying, pull from the spreadsheet. Oh, and then whatever the spreadsheet says, put this in there, right? I mean, you'd basically just be overwriting it instantaneously. So I like, it's a great question. I think it's a very important question. It depends on where you put this, makes a huge difference, right? If it's not here, then you wouldn't be able to save it. It wouldn't actually save it back to the spreadsheet if it's not inside of this sub. So that's a great, I like that question. Okay, good. Other questions, comments, concerns? We're good. Let me check my notes. Okay, at this point, I think we're ready to, what are we ready to do here? Let's do some promotions. Is that what's next? Double check. Oh, wow. Am I way up here? Yeah, let's do promotions. Promotions is next. Let's go back to the form. How much time do we have? Wait, are you serious? Okay, thank you. Let's go back to the form. What we've pulled in so far is we're going to add something else. So I'm going to pull up my toolbox. How do you pull up the toolbox? Do you remember? Oh, I lost it. Where's my toolbox? It's this communist icon up here at the top. I mean, it's not really a I'm just,
Definitely.
it kind of looks like it's not, but it's not, but it kind of looks like it's not. Okay, so I'm going to do a list box. What's the difference between a list box and a combo box? A combo box, it just shows one value and it's like a drop down. A list box shows you all of the options, right? It's a list. You can see them all right there. And so we're going to add a list box and we're going to rename it. Come over here to the properties window. If you don't have properties window, do view properties window right there. View properties window. And we're going to change the name. I'm going to prefix this with LST. LST is like the 3-letter, bless you, prefix of a list box. LST, we'll call it promo. LST promo as the name. And let's add a label to the form as well, just to give it a name, so we know what that is. So I can come over here and I can do a label. Here's my label. And let's put for caption here, I'll put promotions. So caption is the one that's going to change what the user sees. And so I've added a label, I've added a list box, changed the name to LST promo, added a label, changed the caption to promotions. And now let's go and pull data from the sheet to put it in here, right? So where do I put this in the code? Where am I going to put the code that pulls data in and puts it into the form? Am I going to put it in the save click sub? No, right? All right, because that's the other direction. I'm going to put it in the show data sub, right? I'm going to put it in the show data. This is where we're going to pull. Let me make a comment here. I probably don't comment enough. Pull data into promotions list from spreadsheet. That's what we're going to do. And how does promotions work? So if we look over here, here is the promotions column. And it looks like there's different numbers, 1, 4, 2, 4, 1, 2, 1, 1. If we come over to the lists tab, here's our promotions. Promotion 1 is free shipping. Promotion 2 is free warranty. Promotion 3, buy one, get one free. Promotion 4 is discount. So it's interesting that one product could have multiple promotions. 1, 4, here's 1, 2. Here's 2 and 4. There's others that just have one promotion. So 4 was the discount. So what we need to do is we need to pull these promotion codes into the form. That's what we're going to do. So let's do a loop. We need to figure out which promotions does each product have. So let's do a loop. I'm going to reset X to 2. Wait, have we actually created it? Oh yeah, it's up here. Dim X's integers up here. So I'll reset X to 2 here because it probably got added to in this loop. So that's going to allow me to create a do loop. Let's do a do until lists.cells. List is referring to the list sheet over here. So we're pulling from this list sheet. What are we pulling? Yeah, very good. We just want to pull these in. We're pulling this in from the list sheet into the form, right? We have this box. Remember that list combo box? The list box is going to show all 4 of these promotions, and the ones that are selected are going to be the ones that are applicable to this particular item. That's what we're going to do. So we're going to go to this list sheet and pull all these in. Cells X is referring to the row here on this list sheet. column 2, because we're looking at this column right here on this sheet, dot value. Do until list.cells x comma 2 dot value is equal to blank. And then I'll finish up my loop. Here's the end of my loop. I'll add a do events. And now we've created the structure here for a loop. And this is what I want to do for that loop. I want to go to the form and say list promo dot add item. So I'm saying add an item to this list box and add an item from lists.cells x comma 2 dot value. We'll increment x. X is equal to x plus 1. And then we're ready to go. So what I've done is I've created a loop, a do loop, do until the value's blank. So it'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, and it will quit down here underneath discount because there's nothing left. And for each item, it's going to add the item in this position to the list box, increment x, and do it again. So now if I go to my form, run my form, I should see an error message. Oh, interesting. Guess where my cursor was? Yeah, how about that? I was on the wrong sheet. Look at that. So my actual cursor, let me stop this for a second, was like B1. I selected this column. It's actually B1. And so there was no category selected, right? It was expecting all the data on the product sheet. And it said, wait, I don't know what you're talking about because my cursor was selected over here. So let's add one more piece of code to make this a little bit better. And that is when we run the data, when we run the show sub or show data, excuse me, the first thing we want to do is we want to make sure that we're activating the right sheet, right? So I'm going to say data.activate. And this is going to make sure that we're on the right sheet. Select the products sheet. Because that's the sheet that pulls the right data. So now it won't give me that error message. Let me go back to the form, run the form. And it still says it's an invalid department. Let's see, where's my cursor on the product sheet? Let's try this guy. Okay, now we're talking. So now I have executed the form. I've got all these promotions here. I've got my department general from where it was before. And none of the promotions are selected, but I could select them, right? And then I could save it. So if I wanted to say free shipping on this item, I could click on free shipping or free warranty, and I can click on save. One of the great things, though, about the list box is it allows us to be able to select more than one. Except I can't select more than one. Can you guys select? Yeah, Control, Shift. Neither one works. Okay, there's one more setting we have to change here, and that's for this form item. Way over here called multi-select. And so if we click on this promotions list box in the form, we need to change our multi-select to enable it to multi-select. And we could just do multi as the option here. When we select form multi-select multi as the option for this multi-select, and then run the form again, we should be able to select more than one. How about that? So that's where that option is. It's inside of the property. So if I click on this right here, click on my promotions list box, just the box, way over here, bottom left is multi-select. And that's the one you want to change. No, that's where the drop down comes. But the multi-select is 2 rows above that one. I mean, there's all kinds of options here, but yeah, this is the multi-select. So we're just going to select, either one works actually, extended or multi. We'll run this again and test. I mean, show your neighbor, I can select more than one promotion if I want. That's the goal here. Okay, great. So now we've created the space for this. We're pulling this information in. In fact, let's test this for an item that has a promotion. If I go up to row 12, yeah, 12 has a promotion. So let me run the form on 12. And wait a minute, nothing's selected. Why is nothing selected? Yes. Yeah, that's a big part of it, actually. All we've done so far is we've pulled in the promotion options, right? We didn't even pull in from that row. We haven't pulled anything in from this product sheet yet. All we've pulled in was from the list sheet showing here's the options. So now we have to go back and say, how do we match these options with these numbers? That's it. Okay, let's do that. Let's go to the code. I'm going to go back to the show data sub because this is where we're showing data. We first pulled the promotions in from the list sheet. So I'll type that in here from the lists sheet. Next option is, okay, now that we know what the options are, how do we select the right one? And it's actually pretty cool. Well, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you, let's see, can I do this? Let me do this with a stop button and show you what's going to happen here. I'm going to add a stop to my show data so that I can show you conceptually what's going on here. I'm going to run the form. I'm stopped at stopped. And it turns out that you should recognize this construct. So if I do LST promo dot list, it turns out that it's an array. That the way that this list box stores data is in the form of an array. How about that? Is that cool or what? See how there's an array here? The list promo box that contains all this information that we just barely put into it is actually an array of options. And if it's an array, is there a fourth option? No, it's giving me an error. Why is there no fourth option? Because it starts at 0. Man, nice. Because it starts at 0. That's right. So we have a list promo. It starts at 0. What we can do is we can say, if this item is selected, and it will give us a true or false. Right? So we can say list promo dot selected 1 or 0 in this case. That's false. The list promo selected 1 is false. List promo selected 2 is also false. 3 is also false. So nothing is selected is what this is saying. And this is going to help us translate those numbers from the worksheet into how do we identify on the form, how do we choose which one correlates to those numbers. So that's what we're going to do. So let's do this. Let's dim. Let me take this out. Let me stop this. Let me go back to the code. Let's go back to the show data. And after we have created this loop, now what we're going to do is we're going to show, I'm going to put a little note in here, show currently selected promotions. We're going to create a new variable. Let's call it promo array. And this is like the only time in the class when I'm going to use a variant type based on this form and based on connecting the form to the numbers in the spreadsheet. Let me show you one more thing here else too as well. What we can do with an array is we can split values, right? So we can take, if the sheet had, let's say the sheet had a number of options listed as promotions in the worksheet, let's say 1, 2, 4 in the worksheet. I can take that and I can split it based on the comma. The delimiter is the comma. And I can say, give me the first item in that split. If it's an array, that would be the second item, right? If it's 0, that would be the 1. And if it's the second position, that would actually be the 4. So we're going to use a split function to take what's in the spreadsheet and identify what those individual numbers are, and then use those numbers to help us select which promotion it is in the form. All right. Am I going too fast, too slow? So, okay, after we've created the promo array, let's say promo array is equal to, and we're going to split. What are we going to split? We're going to split that promotion cell, right? Data.cells, comma row, and I can either do the column number or I can do the number. It's column H. So we'll just say column H. Row, comma H dot value. And I'm going to split it on the comma delimiter, the limiter, the eliminator. Now, if I run this code and stop this here, what we will do is we will split all of that data into different pieces into an array. Isn't that beautiful? So let me come to this first row here because it has a 1, 4. And let's see if we can run this code and see what promo array is for those first two. It should have 1, and it should split that 1 and 4 into 2 separate elements in the same array. So let me go to the form. I'll run the form. I'm on row 1. Let me come up here to my main window and type in promo array element 0. That's the 1. That's great. And then promo array element 1 is the 4. There we go. So now what we've done is we've pulled value from the spreadsheet. We've split that up based on the delimiter comma, and those values are now in an array. There's nothing else besides that one, right? So there's no element 2, nope, out of range. There's nothing there because there's only 1 and 4. Let's be crazy. What if I did 1, 2, 3, 4? And if I go back and I split that again, now if I come up here, can I test for promo array 0? Got it. Promo array 1, promo array 2, promo array 3, and there they are. There's the 1, 2, and 3, and 4 that we put in there. Okay, great. So let me change this back to the original 1, 4. We now have read information into an array. And now we're really close, right? Now we know what the promotions are. We have those numbers in an array. Last thing to do, what we're trying to do is we're just trying to show those promotions into the form. We want the form to represent what's on the spreadsheet. And it looks like this. We're going to do another loop. And we're going to say 4x is equal to 0 to the upper bound promo array. Then I'll do my next list promo, LST promo dot selected. So I'm saying I want you to select this if this number exists in this array, right? So if it's in the array, then I want you to select it on the form. And we can do that by typing this in here, promo array X, but we have to make one adjustment for the array and we have to subtract 1. So because this is an array and arrays start with 0, we're going to make an adjustment here that says subtract 1. And then select that item in the list box. Promo array X minus 1. If all of that is equal to true, that's what we want. We want to select. True is saying select that item in your list box. So if I come back up here, I'm going to run the promo array, which is now, I changed it to 1 to 4, 1 comma 4. It's going to run through this loop. First, it's going to split it. It's going to be 2 values in this array, 0 and 1. It's going to run this loop twice. And for 1 and 4, it should select those in the form. So let's see if that works. And there we go. How about that? So it worked. So it selected free shipping and it selected discount in the form based on that 1-4. And again, here's the code. Let's see, where's the code? Here's the code right there. We created a new variable. We split the value of the numbers 1 comma 4 into an array, which is one of the reasons why we use the variant here. It's very helpful when we're using arrays. Then we did a loop that said, okay, work through all of the elements in that array, and whenever one of those numbers comes up, go select that in the list promo box. Okay, do a neighbor check. Neighbor, where are you at? He raised his hand first. He's on the ball. You guys may be the front row, but he raised his hand first.
When I go to like run, it doesn't even highlight what's wrong. It just says off. It doesn't say this property.
Runtime error 438. Let's see. Okay, click OK. Does it? Oh, it doesn't highlight anything.
No.
Which row? You're on row 2 in products, and there's nothing highlighted.
No.
Ooh, it's a mystery error. Let's see. What else could it be? This looks good. This looks good. Do until and select.
I mean, it worked all the way up to
Yeah, where did it stop working?
whatever here.
Dim promo array is variant. Promo array equals split data cells, row value, comma, delimiter. Okay, I think that's do a stop right there. Do a stop before the 4x. If you just stop there, see if you can debug it. See if it goes to that point without the error. Okay, the error is still there. So it's got to be before that. Can you do a stop maybe up here somewhere?
I think it worked before.
Yeah, yeah. Try that. Okay, so let's see. Dim promo array as variant. Promo array equals split data. What's the data? I bet that's the.
No, wait. Oh, hold on.
There you go. There it is. That does make sense, doesn't it? I didn't catch that before. Might have to take out those stops, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, good catch. How's it coming? He raised his hand before you guys.
I do get the same question.
Oh, okay. Even better.
So my code works.
Yeah.
But like when I do the promo array, I'm looking for like 1 and 4.
Yeah, it's okay, I figured it out.
You figured it out, or she figured it
I
out?
figured it out.
Jaden's taking credit for. Did you stop it? Or is, oh yeah, you did.
Stop it and then you hit the enter.
What the heck? What is that? Why does that work?
I think she's on. I think she's out. She's Grace has got it. Let's see, so did you stop
I
it?
did.
Oh, yeah, yeah, stop there. Yeah, but I think you only have two in your array, right? So you have to do promo array 0 or promo array 1. There you go. Does that make sense? But if you change that row 1, 2, 3, 4 and had 4 numbers in there, then you'd have more. You'd have more. Yeah. Will, questions? How do you run the form? Yeah, you could, because you're in the show data sub, you could just hit run from there. That works too. There you go. So 4 is selected. Oh, you should have 1 and 4. Let's see, where's your cursor? Oh, yeah. And that's, oh, there's no promotions in row 10?
Well, there might be.
Yeah, there might be. I bet there is. It's probably, yeah, if I just scroll to the right a little bit. There it is. Okay, try row 2. Product ID 2. See what that says when you run show data. Should be 2 there. It must look this like
It's my friend's rental property, so we're going to like try it.
that looks right. If you do a stop before this, will it run up until the stop?
Up here.
Yeah, try that.
And I went to. I did.
Yeah, I think that works. Okay, that works. So what are we missing here? Promo array equals split data dot cells row h dot value comma data dot cells, because we're looking at the data. Cells row comma h, that's this row. Dot value. Oh, you have a comma space.
Wow.
So it's looking for
Is it just a?
there's no space.
Oh,
So it's just a comma.
oh.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Does that make sense? Yeah, try hit play one more time, I guess, and then it will go past the stop and it should show the form. There it is. Yeah, yeah. So it found it because it was looking for the comma space. It didn't find that. But it found it. Okay, good. Nice. Are we good? What happened? Oh, I thought you got lost. Oh, MRP. That sounds like fun. That sounds like fun. Carson, you good?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Branch, you got it? Carter? Okay, great. Brennan? Nice. Okay. So what's next here? Next is what we've been able to do here is pull from the spreadsheet and select the correct promotion in the form, right? Next step is to say, okay, based on whatever we select in the form, go write it back to the spreadsheet. So now we just need to go save any of the changes that we made. So where are we going to do that? We're going to do under the save click option, right? Now we're going to put some code underneath this sub that says whatever is selected in the form, put that back in Excel. So let's do that. I'll put a note in here. Save the promotions to spreadsheet, to products spreadsheet. That's what we're doing right now. We're going to save it to the spreadsheet. I don't actually think we've created an X variable yet in this sub. So let's go ahead and create one. Dim X as integer. Dim, we're going to do another array, selected promos as string, because we want to export a string of numbers if there's more than one. We're going to export that back to Excel. And let's do a loop. Let me see if I can scroll down a little bit so you can see it better. The loop's going to be 4x is equal to 0 because we're starting with 0 as the array. So I'm going to start with x is equal to 0. 2 list promo dot list count, because we can count it and we can say how many are in the list, but we're going to subtract 1 because we want to do it start from 0. And then I'll add a next, close off my loop, and I'll say if it's selected, so list promo, if list promo dot selected X, then do something. So we're saying if it's selected in the form, then do something. And I'll do an end if. What am I going to do? I'm going to say selected promos is equal to itself, selected promos plus, or concatenated rather. I'm going to concatenate with a comma. And X plus 1. So the X plus 1 is I'm translating back from an array numbering system back to a normal counting system, starting with 1, right? That's what the plus 1 is for. And I'm adding that to itself. So if there's more than one number, it'll have 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4, right? We're putting it back into the form that it is into the Excel spreadsheet. And then finally, after I've created that, I can come down here and say data.cells row comma H dot value is equal to selected promos, right? I've just created that string. That string is going to be a couple of numbers and commas. I'm going to add it to that string and I'll put that string back into the sheet. Okay, so let's try this. So if I run my form, go back to my form, click on F5 or play, take out my stop. Here's my form. So I have run the form on row 2. So I currently have promos 1 and 4 selected. If I select free warranty and buy one, get one free, all 4 are selected. I'll click on save. Uh-oh, what is today? Oh, that's funny. If I click on save, what should happen? It should say 1, 2, 3, 4. It should change this 1 and 4 to 1, 2, 3, 4. Unless there it is, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now wait a minute, we have a comma at the beginning. What? Why do we have a comma at the beginning? Or is that just me? Do you guys have commas? Let me show you that code again. And this is going to be on the save code, right? We just made a loop and we're saying put all those that are selected back in. Notice the first time we do this, it starts with a comma. So if selected promos is blank, it's going to start with a comma. How about that? So let's add a couple of categories. Let's add a couple of lines. If the length of selected promos is equal to 0, then let's say data.cells row comma H dot value is equal to blank. So in case there's nothing there, let's do blank. But let's do an else statement. Else, and let's take this one and say else data.cells row comma H value is equal to, and let's do a mid. Let's do a mid, but we're going to start on character number 2. And that says, take out that comma, right? It says, pay no attention to that comma. Don't include it when you actually write to the spreadsheet. So here we're saying this cell, put value in the cell, but start with the second character of this string, which is going to avoid that comma. But if there's nothing in selected promos, then just put blank. Okay, I think we've got it at this point. So if I come back to my sheet, I think I should get an error at this point because there's a comma in there. So I might just need to take that comma out before I run it, but let me go ahead and run the form and see if I get an error. Yeah, I get the error there. The type mismatch error is weird because the comma's here. So I'm just gonna go back to the default here, 1,4, just like it was before. And I'll go ahead and click save, save my spreadsheet, save my code, run the form again. Now there's no error and it shows me 1 and 4 selected. If I click on all 4 again, 1, 2, 3, and 4 for row 2, click on save and there it is, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's got them all. If I click on one that doesn't have promotion and I run that form, nothing is selected. I'll click on discount and free warranty, click on save, and it should add those two right there. That's when we added 2 and 4. We've got it. So we've created a promotions list box. We've filled those options in. We read from the sheet which options were selected. We selected those options, and then we put those options back into the spreadsheet after we select them. Not bad. Sorry? Oh, yeah. Not bad at all. Let's see. Where we go? Right here. So here's where we created that string, which one is selected. Here's where we actually put it into the spreadsheet.